Chris Geiger. Welcome to No Movies in Hell.
I'm LaClaw Scott, and today we are reviewing Rashomon from 1950. Akira Kurosawa.
I haven't seen a lot of samurai movies. I've seen more things in pop culture making fun of samurai movies than I've seen samurai movies.
Aww.
Not making fun of them in a bad way, but like as a beloved sort of, you know, the dubbing of the translations or the sort of stilted subtitle.
Yes.
It's always done with a lot of, you know, affection for the genre. It's like people like it, right? That's part of the fun of it. That mouths don't move properly.
There's no alignment. I mean, I really, it's interesting how there's certain aspects of this movie that like are definitely the foundation for some now more popular dramas and like mysteries, and but it's not, I guess there hasn't been a movie that has what am I trying to say, has completely ripped it off. Like some elements are taken, but no, there's no like reboot of Rashomon. And I find that fascinating because I feel like sometimes the new movies, or there's elements of like classic movies that come out and then they kind of, you know, water it down, kind of like, we're gonna, Squid Games is something brand new. Okay, so we're gonna do an American version of this. There is no kind of like Americanized version of Rashomon.
There might be though, because we're remaking everything these days. It was interesting because I've never seen a Mifune movie. I can't remember if I've ever seen a Kurosawa movie. I did see Seven Samurai, but the American version of Seven Samurai. And so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know the story at all. So I was glad that I went in sort of unprepared for anything that was going to happen. This storytelling from the different perspectives made me think of The Last Duel, which I have recently seen. And that was interesting. I thought it was interesting when I watched The Last Duel. I think it's interesting in this case because it's told from 4 different perspectives, where The Last Duel is just the 3 participants, where this one gives you that sort of objective 4th party, even though he's sort of invested in it as well. And then that complete outsider view who, when he talks about the story and how it's the most horrifying thing that could ever be imagined, maybe in the 1950s that's true, but I think right now, especially given what we're seeing in the world today, you know, there are lots of horrifying things that that seem to be a little bit of an extreme statement. But then the baby at the end, the woodcutter who decides to take the baby, that seemed very like he's renewing the priest's faith in humanity. I wasn't sure, why is the temple in such poor shape?
I didn't catch that.
It's raining and they're like pulling the temple apart to burn it for heat. It seems like if you're the priest at that temple, do you still live there even though it's completely desolate, or did that just happen? I don't know. That was kind of the big question for me. Like, what happened to your temple and why are you still here?
It's like he has to stay. Maybe there was the undertone of the movie was during like war, and also if he had to stay there because, you know, he needed to help people, but also using the church as a resource. It's interesting. I first watched this film probably 20 years ago in film classes, and so it was like, oh, you know, sub-segment of, you know, storytelling and how, you know, there's more than 3 sides to the story, and or no, 2 sides of the story, there's also a third, and then also there's another element. So being introduced to this film, really liking it, and then revisiting it years later and going, there's still nothing like this out there, and it's so artful. And it's interesting just to watch it recently too, compared to 20 years ago. You, as you mentioned, like some things are very horrific in 1950, whereas it's like here it'd be like, I guess now in present day, because of I guess what we've been exposed to, it's just kind of like, eh. But I can see that, like, if you have a limited view of kind of what constitutes as horror, of course it's very jarring. But I think it's beautiful storytelling. I love Kurosawa films, and that's awesome that you're able to see it on the big screen.
Now, did you major in film studies?
So it is a backstory to that. So I had tried to in undergrad. So I came in undergrad and under biology, and then was like, oh, I would like to take the media track, and didn't work out for me because to graduate, it would take a very long time because there weren't simply enough a professor, like faculty to teach certain courses in a good period of time. It would be literally like spring semester and you could only get, select classes. So I ended up changing my major. But I did take a lot of my electives in like international film.
Nice. I was going to say, like, did I not know that about you? Oh, off topic. I'm going to see The Cursed on Friday, tomorrow.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. Which I thought, I bet Laqua's going to see that. So we can also talk about that.
Okay. I will make sure to see that
you don't have to hurry
this weekend. No, I saw it and I was like, ooh, am I going to go by myself to see
that? Okay, back to Rashomon. Oh, let's pull up our slides.
Yes. Fun slides. Oh, okay.
22.5. All right, where did we go? Let's see.
I think here Raiders Choice. So I gave it a 2. I mean, I think it's an excellent film. I don't know what to say. It just didn't get a 3 for Raiders Choice.
Raiders Choice is completely subjective. Like, you give it what you feel at the moment. You're filling out the squares. I give it a Raiders Choice because it's totally different than anything I've seen, which in the 50s, I'm sure it was just like amazingly different than anything people had seen. Because now you're right, you have seen components of it being leveraged in other movies, but altogether, it was unique. I thought the presentation, I don't know that much about Mifune. I know that he's been in a lot of movies, that people really like him. In this story, I was a little bit surprised that he played the bandit, irredeemable bad guy. He's a infamous burglar. Like, people know that he is a robber, raped this woman. He, even in his telling of it, he raped this woman. He didn't want to kill her husband, but the husband's dead, so that's on you, dude. If you had just let them go by, the husband would still be alive. So whatever happened, whoever's telling the truth, the husband's still not here. So it was surprising that someone who is so legendary would take the role of the bad guy, although clearly it was the best role in this movie from an acting perspective. The laughter was jarring. I guess I've not ever been exposed to that I don't know if it's common in movies of that genre or that era, but the hard forced laugh that multiple characters did. So it wasn't just him. It was like, I think even the wife did it in one of the retellings. And I was like, oh, okay. We're all doing that laugh.
Kind of like, it's almost like theater where you have to overemphasize because everything's so dramatic because the people in the back need to see it. And now it's on, it's on film. And so you kind of it could be a little subtler, but that was a really important aspect of the storytelling too, was like this exaggeration. But Mifune, like, it's so interesting that Mifune wanted to play a bad guy. You don't really see that in a lot of established actors. They always want to, they care a lot about their reputation. I feel like sometimes it's like celebrity reputation as opposed to acting. So you really don't get a good, you don't really want to give yourself a chance to be the bad guy, because then you're perceived that way, and, walking down the street or whatever. So there are like actors and they're celebrities, and Mifune is clearly like an actor.
I feel like I've never really thought about it before that now, but I feel like it's the opposite almost for women.
Mm-hmm.
Women want those like roles where they're like not the nice well, like those are the best roles for like I feel like female actresses are always looking I feel like actresses are always looking for roles where they're not playing just kind of the normal stereotypical nice, right? The manic pixie dream girl is very like flat, one-dimensional, stereotypical. No one wants that role anymore. I mean, not that they're not taking them, but people are looking for that meaty, dramatic. Yeah. So we both give it a 3 for story. Actually, I think everything else matched up exactly. So
yeah, all other categories do.
All right.
This is a No Movies in Hell classic.
I know. I wish I had been able to see more of the Mifune series at Film Forum, but I was not. A lot of it sold out. The showing I saw was very big, like packed. People, there was a guy buying tickets at the window next to me, and the ticket seller was like, showed him the seat map, and he was like, "You can have this seat, or you can have this seat."
Oh wow. Yeah, so, I guess some stuff's like not available on streaming. And then of course we don't have like Blockbuster or like Netflix DVD East, which I still have. I had this movie for like I think 6 months. The longest I've had a movie was 3 years. That was The Only Lovers Left Alive. We literally moved with it. And I turned it in last summer.
Did you actually watch it?
I did.
Was it worth it?
No.
That was awesome.
3.5 years. I got it in 2017. No, 2018. I think so. They never email me or anything. So I had it. I knew I had a disc, and it was like right by our DVD player. And I was like, oh, I got to watch that. And then I was like consistently like, I got to watch that. And then I think I got a notification of like, oh, since you have the bundle, like your price is going up. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, oh, I still got to watch this. So I haven't added anything to the disc queue, but now I'm getting all these movies that I signed up for like 5 years ago. So it's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, it's great. My queue is like almost 400 movies long. But I just got one in the other day. I put it on hold when I was in Hawaii. And I just got, I don't know if you can see that. It's Kadi.
The cat movie from Turkey.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for just the right time to watch that. But
it's very cute.
I did go down from like 2 discs at a time to 1 disc at a time, because I was like, they were sitting there for a long time.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to know somebody that also has the disc.
Well, because you can get so much on disc that is not available on streaming, and isn't really easily available on streaming other places. Like, I'm not going to subscribe to like whatever Stars for 1 movie. Like, I'll just wait 4.5 years till it gets up to the top of my queue. And then I'll be like, oh my God, I did want to see that movie.
I know, that is so funny. We'll definitely have to do.
I keep waiting for my DVD player to break, because I'm like, as soon as my DVD player breaks, I'm not buying a new one. Like, that's just going to be it. And then that will be the sign that I I'm giving up the Netflix DVD subscription.
Oh, no, you should keep it. And then you should get a VHS player because those movies are like a couple cents and you could just like build up your library.
Well, Dax still has some VHS movies.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But we have no VHS. So there's no way to watch it. They're just basically plastic things that sit on a bookcase. I'm not actually 100% sure they're VHS movies. There's no way to prove that.
All right. That's noted. Gotta find a VHS player.
Right. All right. So Rashomon, we liked. Do you have anything to plug for this episode?
Nothing to plug. We are trying to figure out where to watch BTS streaming, but Staten Island is a little far.
Yes, Staten Island is a little far. Not as the crow flies, but we are not crows.
Or turkeys, because I feel like they have a lot of turkeys.
They do have a lot of turkeys. All right. I don't really have anything to plug this episode either. Maybe that will change by the time the next episode rolls around. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. See you next time.